Welcome back to the Two Words Podcast, and our two words, as we have discussed earlier, are heel turn. That's right, we're talking about our favorite bad guys. Really, that's what makes wrestling fun, is the bad guys. We've made it through the early years of wrestling where you had these campy characters that were, they were kind of bad guys, but most of them were, just weird characters and stuff.
Then we got into
the Attitude Era, and I think the Attitude Era cemented wrestling as what it is today, and
as a soap opera.
Yeah, what made the Attitude Era great were the heels, were the bad guys. So I guess the question really just is, who are your favorite bad guys?
So are we doing runners up and then the best one? 'Cause I have runners up for all of these questions.
Sure.
Okay. So my runners up, which might be some of yours, so I won't talk about them. But my runners up are Ted DiBiase, The Rock, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho is really close to my top.
Yeah.
But my favorite heel is The Miz.
That's fair.
And I don't necessarily want to be saying that.
Yeah.
But
but that's what makes him a great heel.
But he has been so consistently a fantastic, entertaining, just love to loathe him character for the entirety of his run. And what makes it great about The Miz in general is the fact that, he is one of those kids that grew up his entire life saying, I'm going to be a wrestler one day.
Yeah. And people kept telling him he wasn't.
Right. And then he made it in here, and not only is he a wrestler, he's one of the best characters of all time. He's a great wrestler. He's not a top tier wrestler, in my opinion, but he is a fantastic character. Just looking at this last work with the Bobby Lashley cash-in thing that they did, where they put it on him for 2 weeks. This was brilliant.
Yeah.
His making excuses, his real emotions, everything. It was brilliant. It was so beautiful. And every storyline he's done like that throughout the years has just gotten better and better in that vein. The bravado, the I'm awesome being the beginning of his theme song. It's just, I love it. Yeah. I love everything about it.
The thing about The Miz, I think what makes him a fantastic heel is that he almost every once in a while, he pulls you in to make you well, I should be on this guy's side. I watched the video of him breaking the Intercontinental title while yelling at Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I watch that once a month. It's he just slams it down and he breaks the title. That's
the new just do it meme, that pumps you up. You watch that and you're like, yeah, he's right. Dang it.
I need this. And then he does something, and then he, cashes in his Money in the Bank, and 2 weeks later gives the title to Bobby Lashley. He does things like that. My favorite, I don't know if runners up is really a good term for mine, but some of my favorite honorable mentions, I have Ted DiBiase as well. I love
he was good.
He was just, especially in that time in the late 80s, early 90s, he was just evil. He was slapping basketballs out of kids' hands and shoving money in people's mouths.
Right. And I loved how he just paid people to forfeit matches with him.
Yeah.
I'll give you $1,000 if you just lose.
That's fantastic.
Made his own title.
Yeah.
To carry around.
Yeah. That he eventually gave to Steve Austin.
Yeah, brilliant.
Michael Cole. I was watching WrestleMania 27 the other day. And he was in the coal mine, and it was heel Michael Cole was fantastic. This Michael Cole's good too, but heel Michael Cole was just a dirtbag. And another thing that Jerry Lawler had to go and ruin, because Jerry Lawler just had to have a heart attack on live television. And that was the moment Michael Cole talks about it. He's like, that was the moment I couldn't be a heel anymore after a guy almost died next to me.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't talk trash about him.
I actually watched that thing again recently. Like his explaining to the camera what had happened.
He was messed up.
Shook. He was shook.
I remember watching that live because it was right after he had done a match with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that live and I was like, oh man, this is rough. The anonymous Raw GM.
Which was Hornswoggle, right?
I think eventually we figured out that was Hornswoggle on like the 3000th episode of Raw or whatever.
Which was just a throwaway joke. I don't think it was ever meant to be Hornswoggle.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was either. But
that was also part of Michael Cole. Because it was essentially Michael Cole reading on the lines.
Yeah, it was
Have
great.
your attention.
I love Jon Moxley.
Mox is good. But I'm not sure I would put him in a heel position.
It depends on who he's talking to.
Yeah, but I feel like he's more in that anti-hero position.
Now he is. But when he was in the WWE as Dean Ambrose and he was getting away, he came after he left and came back with a shaved head and he was like really buff and he had the tight pants.
Oh, yeah, and he was doing the Bane thing.
And he was doing, he was doing like the Bane thing and he would come out in gas masks and he's like, I don't even want to smell you people.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff was really
great. He hated doing that, but he put a good effort into it, which is good.
He hated doing it because he didn't have creative control over it.
Yeah.
But my favorite heel right now is MJF.
He's good.
I cannot. Samoa Joe said something on Twitter and it was after he had gotten released and MJF was like, shut up, fatty. like, don't at me.
A legitimate jerk.
He's just and he plays the character all the time.
All the time. He keeps the kayfabe up.
But then he goes out and he legitimately wrestles.
Oh, and he's good.
And he's very good. He's
fun. He'll be in the business for a long time.
Yeah.
And he might one day actually take that best spot from The Miz, in my opinion. Because he is just... He's another one of those love to hate, but super entertaining.
Oh, it was Samoa Joe had tweeted out the video of him coming out at an NXT event, and MJF was one of his like personal security guards. And MJF is, I think, in my opinion, could do nothing but talk, and I'd still be all about it. Who is bad at being bad?
Okay. My honorable mentions here. Michael Cole is on my list of bad. I hated heel Michael Cole. I hated him sitting in his little glass coffin.
The coal mine? Oh!
I hated his fake fans, the coal miners. I hated it all. I hated him in his stupid little high school wrestling onesie. With his match with Jerry Lawler. I hated it all. I did not like it. And I think it's because you and I started watching kind of a different generation.
Yeah.
But I remember Michael Cole back when he was just the backroom interviewer on Sunday Night Heat. Like I remember the night he started.
Yeah.
And I'd always liked him as like I was like, this guy's good. This guy's good on the mic. This guy's when he became an announcer for the first time. I'm like, yeah, he fits here. So I've always been like Team Michael Cole, and so it was kind of like when they tried to make JR a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this feels so wrong to me. I don't like it. It wasn't like a fun heel turn for me. But I really do think that's just a matter of perspective as to when we joined.
Yeah, that's fair. I mostly love, like, every once in a while he just starts shouting. He's like, I was a war correspondent, and now I'm here. I was in the Bosnian Civil War.
I mean, I'm not saying it didn't have its merits or its funny moments, but it's just, it felt wrong.
I definitely loved it.
Mojo Rawley tried to do that weird heel turn.
Yeah, where he like painted
the
weird
cracks in his face and stuff. Yeah. Didn't like that. Shorty G's current version, I don't like that either. I've always enjoyed Shorty G, not Shorty G, but you know what I mean. Chad Gable as the heel, as the kind of all-American whatever. Yeah. And this weird thing he's doing with Otis, you know, it has possibility, sure. But if it doesn't go anywhere beyond where it's at right now, then it's pointless and I hate it.
Yep.
Natalya anytime they try and make her a heel,
Yeah.
it just, no, she's not good at it. Because I don't think that's her personality in real life. I don't think she's that good of an actor. And then speaking of that, Bailey is my worst pick. Worst heel,
I get that.
Bailey. Bailey should not be a heel. She is not entertaining as a heel. She is just grating and annoying. And everybody knows that she is the girl that grew up wanting to be the happiest, the best, the most inspiring, WWE woman wrestler of all time. And that was who she was. And they built her into that fantastic character. And then they just cut it. And they've stuck with this heel Bailey. And it's never worked for me. I hated seeing her every moment at WrestleMania, except for the fact that we thought Becky Lynch was going to come out. And then the Bella Twins came out. And nobody liked that either.
I think that for Bailey, they could have done a heel turn, but they really needed to do it. She's too amped as a heel turn. Like what they really could have done, again, could have, has made her come out, and when she attacked her wacky waving inflatable arm flailing Bailey buddies, she gets on the mic the next week and was like, I wanted to be this happy person. I loved wrestling. I loved being here. I loved all of you, and y'all stole that joy from me.
Yeah, make it a good story.
Yeah.
It just came out of nowhere.
But she's just trying to be white Sasha Banks.
Yeah. It's like, I'm bad now.
And we don't need a white Sasha Banks.
I cut my hair in
regular Sasha
Karen
Banks.
Bob.
For me, the worst, Lars Sullivan. I don't like Lars Sullivan.
Oh, gosh.
I'm glad he's out. I thought John Laurinaitis was insufferable. The people power.
People power.
I am the vice president of talent relations, John Laurinaitis. And with him, he brought Big Show as a heel, and I hate heel Big Show. I do not like heel Big Show.
I know we're not doing this because our next thing is most shocking heel turn.
Yeah.
But the least shocking heel turn is Big Show.
Yeah.
Because he did it 1,000 times.
Yeah. But my least favorite heel, my least favorite bad guy is Stephanie McMahon.
Really?
I do not like. She tries to be too much like her dad as a heel.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
I don't like it.
He's just not fun. Like I don't know. And I'm sure I'm in the minority on that.
I mean, I enjoy Stephanie as a heel. I didn't like her back in the weird McMahon Helmsley era.
Yeah.
Thing.
I think I liked that more than I like.
But in the last decade, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So most shocking heel turn, and I'm looking at your list, and I'm looking at my list, and we have the exact same list, with the exception of one, I think.
Okay. Well, you go first.
Okay.
We'll do one. We'll go back and forth.
So that's your.
This one's my specific one.
Yeah, that's one. That's the only one that we have.
Okay.
You have one different. Mine.
Do you want me to
mine.
do it? Okay.
No, sure. I'll do it. Mark Henry. I'm not sure if it was necessarily a heel turn, but when he came out to his fake retirement.
Even if it wasn't officially a heel turn, the fact was that fake retirement
made everybody loved him.
Yeah, set him up as a person that they loved. They're like realizing, oh, I don't want to see him go. And then to turn that around. Yeah, I see that on the list.
It was the best heel turn out there.
It's pretty good. Okay, so my specific one that I have is when The Rock became the corporate champion.
Oh, yeah.
When they pulled the old secondary Montreal screwjob situation. They even had him do the sharpshooter when they did the fast count, and Vince just handed him the title.
Yeah.
And he walked up and joined the corporation, which I loved the corporation as a faction. I really did.
Corporation was good.
And then even the corporate ministry was fun. That was a fun time. But that was a shocking thing. Because, The Rock was never really a face per se, but he did have that anti-hero quality similar to Stone Cold. And so you always wanted to see him kind of be fighting the man kind of thing.
And when Stone Cold was with Vince McMahon,
He did that too.
that was a weird, very shocking bit.
Yeah, I think they had just run out of
Things to do.
steam to keep the
That's
McMahon
fair.
versus Stone Cold thing going.
So our shared shocking heel turns.
Okay. You take one, I'll take one.
Chris Jericho or Kevin Owens turns on Chris Jericho at the Festival of Friendship.
I watched the entire thing.
Oh my
After
gosh.
seeing the clip of it on the Stone Cold podcast, I went back and watched the entire thing. It was beautiful.
That is gold.
It was so beautiful.
It is gold.
And hearing Jericho explain, how they were setting it up and how it went on that podcast, it just made me love it even more. It was really good.
I love, because I saw it coming 2 seconds before it happened.
Right.
Because he's like, I have a new list. And I told Hillary, I'm like, he's going to pull it up and it's going to say something that's going to have Kevin Owens' name on it. He's like, why is my name on it? He pulls it up and it's the list of KO. And then he gets stunned and it's through the TV.
Because it made you feel like it was going to be another like Rock's birthday
Yeah.
segment where, yes, The Rock hated it. But they were still a tag team. They were still friends. You just expect this to be a weird moment. It's like an uncomfortably long.
But that went on to set up Jericho Kevin Owens.
Oh, and it was great.
And that was really fantastic.
Okay. Is our top ones the same one?
Well, that was really my top one.
That was your top
But
one?
that one is the same.
Okay.
We do have the same there.
So my last runner-up one is when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield.
I did not see that coming
It was
at all.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Because we had hated the Shield when it started. I mean, I hated the Shield when it started.
I think everybody did, but eventually it grew.
And
on
eventually
people.
they turned into that anti-hero thing.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And it was right after they had just done this feud with the Authority and the revised Evolution
/
and all this
corporation.
stuff. Corporation, whatever. And then you basically restarted the corporation. I thought it was
Watching the faces when they're all standing, in the ring facing the Authority. Seth Rollins comes and slams a chair against Roman Reigns. Roman flops down basically on his face, and the face on Dean Ambrose of what is happening.
Why did you do this to me?
And then to him get hit the second,
Yeah.
it was just a heartbreaking. That was one of those that just crushed you.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these heel turns or breaking up of factions you kind of see coming, or they're like a good thing. You're like, finally they're breaking free or something like this. But this was just a rip your heart out moment for characters we barely knew, really.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, it was long before any of this character development, because they were notoriously like almost anonymous esque. Like they were just a looming threat that weren't even in the locker room or whatever. To see that, it was played really well.
Yeah.
All right, so
I loved it.
the last one, and you can start talking about it, but it's my top one. Is this on your list?
That's not on my list.
Oh,
no.
okay. You didn't see this one then. Okay.
No. I didn't even think about that.
This is my top one.
Actually, I did think about that. But
My most shocking was Hulk Hogan being the third man.
Hogan's the third man.
NWO.
Hogan is the third man.
Like, I know I was still early in wrestling at that point, but I knew Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Long before I watched
Everyone
wrestling,
did.
every kid knew Hulk Hogan. I had the Hulk Hogan brawling buddy, that little stuffed
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Like I that was my stuffed animal that I slept with as a kid for many years. Like I was a big Hulk Hogan guy. And if there was anyone on the planet who I thought would be a face for life, it would be Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just did a Nazi salute on the Twitch stream. But face for life.
Hail Hogan.
Cut that out of the podcast.
Yep. Can't put that out there.
It would be Hulk Hogan, and to see him just come out, do the leg drop on, I think it was Randy Savage, wasn't it? It was somebody who was his friend. Like everyone thought he was coming out to save them, and then joined in with Hall and Nash as the kind of WWF invasion angle that they were playing. It was brilliant, but you saw the heat it drew. you saw all the garbage being thrown into the ring.
Yeah.
Like, it's a rare occurrence when something like that happens.
Yeah. I mean, it made people that mad.
They were so upset. It was so shocking. And to this day, that's one of my favorite clips to watch, too.
Yeah.
A really good moment.
It's fantastic. Well, let us know. What's your favorite heel turn? And who do you think is the best bad guy out there? Who did we miss? What moment did we miss?
Topher says Baron Corbin is his favorite heel.
Baron Corbin. Now,
Twitch.
you mentioned the dog food. The dog food made me uncomfortable. Like in a very, and not in like a, but it was like oh man, I'm really
Also
bad for this guy.
Him in the biking outfit also made me feel awkward.
But Baron Corbin makes me uncomfortable. But
Look, he is one of those workhorses.
Yeah.
Like, he will do anything
be
for the
around for a
company,
while.
like you're saying. And so but I don't think he's yet at the top tier level heel.
he has not reached his potential.
But I bet he will be
yeah, he's on his way to.
very soon.
I think we give him a lot more crap than he deserves. Well, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at 2WordsLTN, and be sure to check out our Twitch stream of every episode on twitch.tv/LTN on air. You can interact with us, see all the fun stuff that doesn't make the show, like what Matt just did, and you can hear us a day before the podcast airs. Which, why wouldn't you want to do that? Hang out with us tonight.